hello. So when player collects the grenade, so we will need to disable the player movement, and we will need to pop up the game over panel. So that game over panel will have the restart and the main menu. So there will be the two buttons, restart and the main menu. When the player restart the button, then there should be the same scene should be reload, and when it press to the main menu, it will go to the main menu. Okay, so when the player touches for the you know uh, touches for the my bad touches the grenade, so we have to do two things. The first thing is we need to disable the player movement, and the second thing is the fruit should not be fall. All right, so this should be stopped. So we do have that in our game. We do have the two options. The first option is we can directly set the time scale to 0. All right, so if we set the time scale to 0, then all the unity physics systems should be are disabled, and there won't be any the time freezes in the game. So either we can do that, or if we disable this fruit drop manager, all right, or if we just disable some the fruit drop manager, we can also fruit drop manager and the player movement, so we can also achieve the same thing. All right, so so let's do that. Okay, so how we can do is, for example, okay, so let's do the first thing. For example, we will say we will freeze the time. We will freeze the time. That means, so if there is a time dot, if we set the time dot time scale to 0, right? So basically the time dot time scales means the rate at which the game time passes relative to the relative time. So this can be used for the slow motion effects or speed up your application. When time scale is 1, the time passes the same rate as the real time. When the time scale is 0.5, the time scale passes at half the rate of the real time. And when the time scale is set to 0, your application acts as if paused to all the functions are frame rate independent. All right, so if I set to the time scale 0, then it will freeze all of the actions. Okay, so let's see. My bad. Nice. So as you can see here that our game has been freezed. So basically I think it would be great if we wait for some of the seconds to before freezing. All right, so either we can delay this freezing time, mm, or so I think this is not good. Either we can delay, so this will take the another start coroutine. Okay, so let's do one thing. The thing is, so if we click the get dot, if this dot transform dot parent dot get component player movement, all right, dot enabled equals to false. So what this code does is this transform dot parent means the player score manager transform dot parent and get component pair moment dot enabled equals to false means, okay, let me tell you. So this the transform dot parent means player score transform means cube, all right, and the parent of the cube is player, all right. So the player dot get component player movement, and we are going to disable this player movement, so there won't be any player movement, all right. So and now what we need to do is we need to just disable this fruits drop manager as well, all right. So let's make the one thing serialize field, okay, serialize field, and either you can create the game object, okay. So fruits drop manager, so we will disable the fruit drop manager dot set active false, okay. So this will false the fruit drop manager and the fruit won't be dropped. So let's see, my unity is so much lagging here, okay, so this will work, I think, okay. So as you can see the game, this looks good, right, since there is also rotation and there is no any player movement, right. So also the game is working fine. Okay, nice. All right, so what we need to do is, okay, so what we need to do is, so let's make one panel for the game over panel and let's do some of the things, like, so let's create a, I think we already have the canvas here, right. So let's create the another, create empty, all right. So let's create it as game over panel, so let's expand this, so let's go and create the image as a background, right. So you can just decrease the transparency as well. So let's make a button. I'm using just the default button, alright, so you can change it later. This button has the restart, 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 and let's create the another button name as main, alright. So when we will enable this panel when there is the game over, all right. So after pressing that button, so we will do the respective work. For example, let's do as restart, and let's increase the font, let's make it bold, right. And let's do the same up here, restart and main menu, go to the bold. So what is the text? 35. So let's make it 35. All right, so this is more visible now. So now at last what we need to do is we need to just enable set active true the game over panel when there is the game over. Alright, so let's make use serialize field game object game over panel, and we will enable the game over panel dot set active true, right? Okay, so at first the game over panel is disabled, right? So when, so let's go to the okay, so it is looking for the game over panel. So when there is a game over, we need to give the reference and the game over panel will be enabled. All right, okay, so as you can see, the game over panel is enabled. So you can also add the delay, since you can also see properly the what the particles. All right, so if you want to add some delay, we do have the invoke function. So let's try. For example, if you make a function private void game over, this is the function, right? Game over panel status. So let's cut this and let's paste it here. So if you invoke the name of it, is it will look for the string and name of game over panel status, and you can give the 1 second delay. All right, so invoke will looks for the two parameter string, method name, and the float time. So we have given the string, this is name of, means it will returns the name of this function, and we are going to give the one after 1 second it should pop up. So let's see whether that will work or not. Okay, so nice. So it is working perfectly. So in the next video we are going to make some main menus and the scene management, right? So when players click on the restart, so the game should be restart, and if it click on the main menu, it should go to the main menu. So thank you very much. See you in the next video.